so there's 3 ways that I section off the back. One way is straight. Is that 8? It's 8 in your book. Okay, so one way is straight. The other way is a crescent, or I say a smile. And then the other way is a V, like that. Okay, so the reasons you part off the hair in 3 different ways is based on the haircut. So ultimately what you're trying to do is follow your haircut. So if the hair is also foiled, you have to recognize how you are going to get rid of foil lines, right? Because that's always the question I get. So I'm doing 700 foils up the back. How, when I have that lady that comes in, her hair is super blonde, super light, how am I going to get it that way and convert her? And the answer is, if you are trying to get rid of a line, what would you do with your parting? You would have it curved, or you would have it on the bias, right? Because if I'm trying to get rid of straight, I'm going to go the opposite direction so that I get rid of that. However, if I have somebody who is foiled to death, and we know who they are, 2 weeks later they say they have dark at their regrowth, then I might have to go straight, and I might have to follow with those lines until I can get some contrast in between it. Does that make sense? So if I have a lot of layers, that is where I'm going to look as well. So if I have a lot of short layers in here, I'm going to be more on the bias, right? Because to me, that's going to be following how her hair falls, right? Have you ever noticed that on YouTube, Facebook, you name it, wherever anybody's posting, Pinterest, that everybody posts the back of a head and it's curled? Yes, I think I'm going to have myself a campaign of please post the front of the hair. And please stop making that every single thing has to have a curl. All right, but there's a reason for that, and I want to explain to you why there is that. And that is because the way that we have been trained as colorists before is that all our highlights look like spaghetti. They're spaghetti pieces. Now with balayage, things are lasagna, right? Because they're thicker, they're bigger, and they're covering more circumference of the hair. Agreed? When you curl something that's a foliage, or something other than that people are trying to tease and do different things, what it does is it takes the contrast of the dark and the lightness and it twirls the two together, doesn't it? And when you twirl it together, it makes it look more important, doesn't it? Think about it. You know, when you do that updo and you pull that hair up and you take that one big section, you're going to try to do that curl, and it looks so beautiful because you can see the dark and the light, and they all come together and they make a big, thick piece. That is ultimately what balayage is. So when you see people posting pictures of curls, it makes their work look better. Period. That is the reason. But our goal as trainers and our goal as students is to be able to have balayages that look really good straight. And they're seamless, and they look great. Now, today who knows, we may curl or wave this hair just for the purpose of doing it, but I want you to key in on a couple of things, and we'll talk about the breaks of the hair. And I spend a lot of time talking about this because I know it's not going to take me but a minute to paint it. Because it's really important to recognize how hair breaks open. Do you see how her bang is breaking open, and you can see right here, lean forward a little bit, you can see how that's happening and that's happening. You see where that's breaking? In a short haircut, where that hair breaks open, where this hair here, the hair, you can see the dark and the light and the dark and the light. That's where her hair breaks. So where that hair breaks is what you need to start learning where to put your contrast. So if you're doing low lights, find the break. Yesterday, Taylor was in the salon. She's one of my assistants as well. And she was painting this lady's bob. And when I blew it dry, I literally almost burst into tears. And her mentor, who you're going to meet tomorrow and today, Tasha, who's my niece as well, we both just stood back and we just said, you got it. You understand it now. You understand where the hair breaks. Because what makes light look important? Dark. So when you understand where hair breaks, that's where the ridge of the light is going to live. And that's what makes your work look like, wow. Okay, so you follow people on YouTube or whatever and you think, wow, like. I like that, I like that. It's because that person understands light and dark contrast, and that person understands the break of the hair. Okay, so that's a very important key to understanding balayage.